one last thing in terms of the Archons scripting this new season of reality that I got to talk about. Prayers up from our boy Salman Rushdie.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. Like, okay.
I thought everybody had chilled out on that. That is wild.
The fact that, like, okay, it looks like he's going to pull through, but I mean, he was gravely injured. And, like, the fact that he lived through it, I'm like, okay, that's G shit.
Yeah.
Like, he lived that long, 30 years after that shit. Some fucking moron just pokes his liver up at the Chautauqua Writers Conference.
I mean, it's
in
like
Western New York. He'd been living more or less openly in New York for like decades.
And
now.
like the fatwa had even kind of been rescinded.
Okay, this is funny though. The fatwa had been rescinded, but the bounty was still in effect.
And it's like, what's he thinking? Does he think they're going to put it on his commissary?
Yeah,
in
no,
prison?
the guy who stabbed him. We were questioning, like, is he going to get the money?
Yeah. Yeah. Does it go on his books?
Yeah. So you're thinking, like, he's in jail, but he has the most ramen noodles out of anyone in, like, the New York State prison system.
He has to start, like, that guy has to start a new thing in prison.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you're a Southeast Asian Shia Muslim.
Yeah.
It's like, who do you even, you've got to start a new thing.
You got to start a new thing, and all those ramen noodle packets will help.
Yes,
they're gonna lubricate the transmission. He's gonna be like Mansa Musa, that like fucking like African king who like would cause hyperinflation on his trip to Mecca because he spent so much gold on everything. Like that would be him in prison.
Here's what I don't like about this guy. Like him stabbing Rushdie.
He stabbed Salman Rushdie.
That's his business. That's his business. But no. I mean, it is that, like, this guy's like 34.
Yeah. How do you care about this?
Yeah, he's like those people who like post under Led Zeppelin things on YouTube where they're like, I'm 12. I was
that's
born
the
in the
thing
wrong
is,
generation.
what we're seeing, this really is meaningful. You're showing like this is the cultural dead end we're all in. We gotta like. I'm a relatively young guy who's frustrated and wants to like have a religious object. I want my own corn, transcendental moment. How do I do it with my cultural context, where I don't have corn as my god? What do I have? Just this old fucking deal, this old culture war thing that's like been 30 years old because they're not generating anything new to believe in anywhere.
Yeah, it's like they don't even in Iran. They don't. I think like the context for that historically is interesting because it's like, no, like the Ayatollah wasn't like, oh, I like hate Rushdie so much. It was like a flex. It was like, we're the real defenders of Islam.
Right.
Like Saudi Arabia could say they have Mecca and Medina,
exactly.
but like they can't openly call for the death of a Westerner.
They can't kill for like a British citizen or like
they're showing like their state capacity and their ability to like project power globally. Yeah.
We're outside of the fold.
Exactly.
Maybe they can secretly kill Westerners. We are openly doing it.
Well, I mean, like, look, Saudi Arabia, they can wipe out all of Cantor Fitzgerald in one day. But if even one of those guys had fucked Padma Lashma, then like it would have been a problem. And you know what? Like, I gotta say, is Salman Rushdie. I'm like, look, I saw, like, not overwhelming, but like similar to the Charlie Hebdo thing, there are a few dumb babies who were like actually Salman Rushdie deserved to die for writing a novel that I haven't read.
Psychotic. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You were really offended by his portrayal of Muhammad in the Satanic Verses. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, outside any freedom of speech issue, I simply must ride with Salman Rushdie because he is one of the all-time greatest pussy gutters of all time. There is few men who have have fought out of their weight class at a higher level than Salman Rushdie did.
Insane.
So, I mean, respect.
It's like his adjusted stats are legendary because he's up there with your Warren Beatty's and stuff. It's like, well, yeah, but
Warren Beatty looks like Warren Beatty.
When you consider the handicap here, these are similar numbers. It's amazing.
He put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers, and he's like 5'5". He's always looked the same. He's one of those guys that like
he looks like Middle Eastern Frasier.
Yes. He is always from the time I was like an infant. He's looked 57 years old.
Yes,
and he's still like he's never fucked a woman shorter than 5'9".
Yep.
Like he's God. Yeah. What can you even say?
My other favorite detail about Salman Rushdie is like when the height of the fatwa, when like his life was like truly in danger, he was living with round-the-clock CIA protection, like CIA bodyguards. They were living in his flat in London and like going everywhere with him. Round-the-clock CIA agent security detail. Guys who were like, basically would give their lives to save his. At the end of every month, He submitted an invoice to the CIA that charged them for like down to the individual sheet of toilet paper consumed in his apartment, the electricity bill, the water bill, cereal, everything. He fucking squeezed every penny out of Langley for having guys live in his fucking house.
He's awesome.
He kicks ass.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday, but don't you think it's interesting how, like, I mean, like the point of the thought was like it was like a sweepstakes. It's like, you know, go out and do your best. But that, like,
go for it.
Yeah, like no one
believe in yourself.
Don't you think it's interesting that no one tried a honeypot? Because it's always been known
That's
he gets
true.
like, kind of pushy.
Like a little disciplined move could get there. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I guess they like anyone who would kill him for that is so like disgusted by that idea.
Yeah,
maybe
they're not sophisticated enough for that sort of high end espionage act.
Yeah, and like a Soleimani type would be able to put that together, but I don't think like guys that competent gave a shit.
Exactly. Yeah, like that. It's mutually exclusive.
Right.
Like if you care about this stuff, it's because you're kind of a loser.
Exactly. Like Soleimani is like, well, I mean, he was a little young at the time, but like his equivalent in IRGC and Quds, they were like, we're like trying to kill Israelis.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you like? No.
Yeah, and it's interesting to look at this and see like, okay, so we had this attack on Rushdie, but there have been zero, at least to my knowledge, like public terror attacks in the West, ascribed to anyone or independently, in response to the Soleimani assassination. You know, there was no real blowback to that. There were some missile attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq, but there was no real terror related to it. Even individual guys taking it upon themselves. And it's kind of like, well, here's the thing where, like, maybe if you're pissed about Soleimani, you have something better to do with your time than like impotently strike out at the West. Like, you have an actual project, a state project that you can participate in. And so you don't need to do the loser thing of just trying to kill somebody.
Yeah, I wonder, like, with the Soleimani thing, I think about that a lot because it's like, I didn't expect it to happen like right after.
Yeah.
You know, that's not really their style. I am kind of curious as to what it will be, if anything.
Yeah.
It's got to be something.
I mean,
Apparently they were put a bounty on Bolton.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an 83-year-old man. Like, better hurry up.
Sorry, just a bit of personal connection here with Rushdie. My mom emailed me this morning because she just forwards me Google alerts for like everything she gets on like me or our family, and it was a Google alert for Daniel Menaker, and she says, "I don't see any mention of Dad in this. Do either of you?" And it's just like an AP News story about Salman Rushdie being attacked. And I don't see my dad's name, but he did edit one of Salman's later novels called Shalimar the Clown, which, as far as I know, does not have any blasphemous depictions of Muhammad or does not defame the Islamic faith in any way, shape, or form. I just want to be very clear about that. But she says, "Did you know we went to Rushdie's wedding to Padma Lakshmi? It was quite the event. They got divorced pretty soon after."
You know, nothing.
I actually did not know that. I know my dad edited one of his books, but
nothing gold can stay.
Yeah, what can you do?
Just respect to Salman.
Absolutely,
I'm glad he pulled through.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he stays crushing pussy with one. You know, he's with one eye, but that's cool. Like kind of an eye patch. That's cool.
That's baller.
If anything, I think he gets more now.
Yeah,
but I mean, like that's insane to me. But like 30 years,
yeah.
And then you just get poked up just randomly.
Wild.
Like, that's fucking wild. I'm glad you didn't die, though, because that would have been really fucked up.
That would have been sad.
That would have
man.
been really sad.